Hello there and welcome to this brand new video. This is Happy Beyond Numbers, where we learn maths the easy way. Now in this video we are looking at BODMAS, or what others call the PEMDAS. We are looking at it in relation to solving fractions or simplification of fractions. Now when you hear of BODMAS, what comes to mind? It is just an order of operation. So when we are solving fractions, and as we've done addition and multiplication and subtraction and also division, which one do we need to do first? Using this framework, that is the BODMAS, we are able to accurately solve for our solution. So let's look at what this BODMAS means. We have B, O, D, M, A, and then S. These are the letters that make up the BODMAS. Now, what the B here means, if there is a bracket, solve for whatever you have in the bracket first. So our B stands for bracket. Solve for any expression in the bracket first. Now, if you go to any expression in the bracket, the next thing you should do is, if there is an exponential or an order, if you have a fraction, let's say 2 over 5, and it's raised to the power 3, evaluate that first. We call this the order of the whatever variable or constant or whatever it is. In this case, our fraction. So solve for the order first, after which you come to your division. So if there's division, solve for the division first. Our M, as we know, is for multiplication. Our A is for addition. And the last thing we would want to do is to subtract. So let's solve for brackets first, come to the orders or the exponentials. We solve for our divisions and multiplication, and then we can now do our addition and the subtraction. The PEMDAS isn't different from this. It ends with S, right? So this S here is still for the subtraction. Then its A here is also for addition. The D is for division. The M is for multiplication. E is for exponential, as I spoke of. The order is the same thing. Then the P is just parenthesis. The P is simply parenthesis. Parentheses are just like what we call brackets, right? So the PEMDAS and then the BODMAS are all the same. So now that we know what this means, let's look at it practically and then see how it can help us get solutions to some simplifications. Let's start by taking our very first question, which says that to simplify the expression 2 over 5 times 3 over 10 times 4 over 7. Now, as you can see, there's addition there and there is also multiplication over there. So which do we do first? Let me write that out. We have 2 over 5, then plus 3 over 10, and times our 4 over 7. The BODMAS says we should work what? Bracket first. And as we can see, we have no bracket. In this question we have here, there is actually no bracket. Hence, we go to our next item, which is order. The order or exponential. Do you see any exponential here? There is no exponential on any of these. Then the next one says we should check for division. Now, is there any division? No, there is no division. The next one says multiplication. There is multiplication here. And what does this multiplication do? It multiplies this term and this term. So let's take note of that. The multiplication multiplies these terms here. Hence, we have to solve that first. In solving that first, it simply means we are not going to have anything to do with this first one here. So it remains as it is. That is 2 over 5 remains as it is. Plus, then we solve our multiplication first. So in solving our multiplication, how do we do that? Let me write that all over again, then we do it. So we have 10, then 4 over 3. So how do we do our multiplication? 4 is divided by 2 twice. And 10 is also divided by 2 5 times. Is there any simplification we can do again? No, there isn't. Hence, we are going to get 2 on 5, then plus 3 times 2 gives us a 6, whilst 5 times 7, on the other hand, gives us a 35. So we are done with what? The first part of our question. As you can see, we have solved the question pertaining to the multiplication. You see, we have solved the question pertaining to the multiplication, and this is the answer it gives us. It gives us. Now we have reduced the signs. Instead of addition and multiplication, we have evaluated one of them and we are left with only addition. You see, and we can work that straightforward. So now we have 3 over 5 plus 6 over what? 35. That is what we want to solve now. So rewriting it here, which is 2 over 5, 6 over 35. We are going to get what? An addition question. And to solve addition of fractions, what did we say we do? We look for the LCM. The LCM here of 5 and 36 and 35 is 35. Then we perform what? Addition of fractions. So 5 divides 35 how many times? That is 7 times. So 7 multiplies the 2, giving us 7 times 2. Then plus 35 divides 35 how many times? Once. 1 times 6 gives us what? 6. So let's do our evaluation. 7 times 2 actually gives us a 14 plus 1 times 6, which gives us a 6, all over 35. 14 times 6 gives us what? 20. So we have 20 over 35. This here becomes the final answer of this long thing we saw here. But yet still we can simplify, right? We can simplify because you realize that 5 can divide 20 and can also divide 35. So 5 divides 20 to give us 4 and 5 divides 35 to give us 7. Hence our final answer is what? 4 over 7. We have applied the BODMAS here. Solving first of all the multiplication before the addition. Let's take another example to enhance our understanding. So this next example here, what does it say? It says 5 over 6 minus 3 over 2 times 3 over 4. Now, as we can see, there is multiplication and there is also subtraction there. So let's look at how we are going to go about it. We have a 5 over 6 minus 2 over 3, then times 3 over 4. BODMAS once again says what? Bracket, order, division and multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So if you have to follow that same order, then it simply means we are going to try and solve for this first. That is the 2 over 3 times 3 over 4. So 5 over 6 repeats. So the question says 5 over 6 minus 2 over 3 times 3 over 4. As we have observed, we have to, based on the BODMAS, we have to solve for the multiplication first. We are solving that of the multiplication, this over here. We are solving this first. That simply means we are just going to write this first fraction as it is. That is 5 over 6 minus 2 over 3 times 3 over 4. Now, since we are multiplying this here, we ask ourselves, is there a way we can simplify before we multiply? Yes. This 2 divides itself once and divides this 4 twice. The same way, this 3 here divides this 3 once each. So that we have 5 over 6 minus 1 times 1 gives us a 1. Then this 1 here times this 2 gives us a 2. So this now becomes our new question. All right. So let's write that here and solve it out. Okay. So that now that we want to do subtraction, we ask ourselves, what is the LCM of 6 and then 2? And that is 6. 6 divide 6 once. 1 times 5, we have our 5. Then 2 divide 6 thrice. 3 times 1, we have negative our 3 there. 5 minus 3 now gives us a 2 on 6. This is our answer, but we can simplify as well. So we are going to have 2 dividing itself once and dividing 6 3 times. So our final answer is what? 1 over 3. As simple as that. Let's look at our very last question, after which we can solve some exercises. Our question here says 5 over 6 plus 2 over 3 in a bracket, then times 3 over 4. BODMAS says we have to solve for the bracket first. So this here is going to remain as it is. Even though there's multiplication, it will remain as it is. Whilst we solve for what is in the bracket first. Our solution. So solving for the bracket first, we have 5 over 6. I'm just rewriting the question so we can begin solving. Then times 3 over 4. This here, 5 over 6 plus 2 over 3. What is the LCM? Because we are adding. For addition, that is where we go the LCM way. So our LCM here is 6. And 6 divides 6 once. 1 times 5 gives us a 5. Then we come to the 3. 3 divides 6 twice. 2 times 2, we have our 4. All this just for the bracket. Then times 3 over 4. Now we can simplify this further. 5 plus 6 gives us a 9. 9 over 6. Then times 3 over 4. Now with this here, we are multiplying. And for multiplication, we should simplify before what? Evaluating. So let's continue here. Hence, it's going to give us, per our simplification, we know that 3 can cancel out what? 6. So 3 divides itself once, and it divides 6 two times. You see? Now, is there any other way we can cancel out? No. All these are what? Co-prime. They have no common factors. Hence, we have our 9 times 1, then 2 times 4. So 9 times 1 all over 2 times 4. 9 times 1. 9 times 1 gives us a 9. And 2 times 4 also gives us an 8. This is our final answer, which we can then change into what? Improper fraction as one whole number 1 over 8. This here is our final answer. So what have we done? We have looked at how to use the BODMAS to solve questions in order. And BODMAS simply says we should always work for whatever is in the bracket first. If you're able to solve for what is in the bracket first, then we now evaluate the remaining based on the order. That is division or multiplication, and then addition or subtraction follows. The following are some questions you can try on your own. You can try these questions out to test your understanding. And you can as well post the answers in the comment section for review by other friends. So this is how far we are going to go in this video. This is Happy Beyond Numbers, where we learn maths the easy way. If this is your first time, you can choose to subscribe if you found the video helpful, and then like or share as well. In our next video, we'll be looking at word problems. We'll be solving some word problems relating to fraction. Take care.